morning, good morning, good morning.
Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you for your time.
Welcome to Sunday, welcome to Sunday.
Who's that crazy dude over there? What is he doing?
Good morning, my love. How are you? Welcome to Sunday.
I'm very well. I'm happy. I'm very looking forward. Like the whole week, I was looking forward to this very important session.
I've had so many requests and reminders. People asking me to set reminders. I've sent it on my Facebook. I sent it on all the platforms. Like, please remind us. So here we are. Did you have a phenomenal week?
Well, yeah, it's been an up and down journey, but yes, at the end, it's life and it's so beautiful. Yes, we have. Hello, Shabnam.
Morning, Shabnam.
Okay, enough. We have 30 minutes. We're gonna dive right in. First of all, the quote that you gave us, and we wrote down on the paper and hang everywhere in our apartment, which says, "You are doing the best you can as loving parents to your beautiful children." And every parent that was in our apartment and read this quote was like, "Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. I must do it too." Because it's just a beautiful reminder to not be so judgeful with yourself and to just be loving in every move and decision you take for your children. And with your children, it's made with love, and don't judge you, even if you believe, "Ooh, it could have been different." And even I'm sometimes angry with Kai. I would scream because like, I'm not patient enough. And then I would go to her and explain that everything that just happened is because something is happening here in mommy and she's not balanced. And I felt this anger in me.
Yes, thank you.
And she would understand, and even that's the best you could do in that situation, to just fix it. Apology. It's just, go ahead, my love. I am sure you have so many.
No. I'm enjoying what you're saying, and I'm just absorbing it. So firstly, we just want to thank everyone that joined us and everyone who continue to support this platform. The intention is purely to empower and to guide everyone along, and we are students. You can teach us as well along the way. What Anna is speaking about is some time back during our sessions where I said to Anna to write up a very important message and paste it around the house. I have a true belief that, what we see, continue to see, hear, and feel manifest our reality and create our reality. So Anna, what you did was you wrote up, we are doing the very best we can based on our understanding, knowledge of being a parent, because the topic came from, and where our discussion started, was that no one teaches parents on how to be parents. It's by default, even our parents and our grandparents, etc. We do live in a viral era right now where there's much more information available, and even that information, with respect, sometimes overlaps one another. So that particular message that you put out, what it did was, it didn't create an excuse for you to have discomfort. It created a support that when you are going through discomfort, you're acknowledging that you are doing your best. And we spoke about the word try. In one of my sessions this morning, I said to my patient, I said, the word trying is not in my vocabulary at all. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
So
hello, Andre.
Oh, hello, Andre. We can do this for 30 minutes, greeting everybody. So I just want to speak about the difference between mom and motherhood, dad and father, and the understanding of being a parent. Can you share with us at what stage did you finally see the light in being a parent?
When before you entered, I said we're going to explain the difference, because to me it's just two different worlds. And I wouldn't even say we talk about motherhood, but momhood, because today I'm a mom, not only a mother. And just to share my personal story real quick, I met Andre. I fell in love with him. He is still the partner of my life, and I felt that, oh my gosh, there's no better time. I was old enough. I was 30 years old at the time, so I had very many justification and reasons why I shouldn't become pregnant, So I was like, now's the time. Let's have a baby. So Andre agreed. He was like, yeah, I'm open. It's not that I wanted today or yesterday, but I want to become a dad, or I'm ready for it. Neither was I. I was not ready for the right reason. That didn't feel right inside of me, that I was like, I'm feeling that's like having, like carrying this child is this is what I'm here for. There was so much going on, and people would say there's never the right time because you want to do that and you want to do career and some vacation. But I mean, on a higher level, that I didn't feel it in me to become a mom yet, though there were so many reasons why I shouldn't. That's why we said like, okay, let's do it. So it was like a mission. And becoming a mom, you know, there were certain facts, like we were not prepared. We didn't buy a baby bed, we didn't buy anything because we were like, oh, it's gonna work out anyway. So I feel we didn't own the situation becoming parents. And it took me also 1 year to understand what's going on.
Can I just stop? Can I
Yes.
just interrupt you there for 1 second, my love? When you decide that you're going to have, that you want to start a family,
Yes.
was that based on a source, a society pressure in any way, that you guys are ready to have a family, and when are you having a family? When are you starting your family?
Yeah, you know, since I was a little child, I wanted to become a mom since I was a little child, and it was the biggest fear to not become pregnant, like to not be able to have a baby. That was the worst scenario of my life. I never wanted to get married big, or I didn't have those fantasies, but become a mom. It was like, oh my gosh, I must become a mom one day. And it was so deep down in me since I'm a little child. And pressure from society, not that people would say, oh, you're together for 1 year, let's try a baby. No, not at all. Because you have also that scenario where people would be together for 5, 6, 7 years, and then they would say very realistically, like, yeah, we have to move on at some point. Like, should we have a baby or not? Like, do we break up, or are we having another kid so we have another vision as a pair?
Yeah.
And you know, also like this process of sourcing the trauma and realizing, I found that I also wanted to have a baby for my mom, so she has a meaning in her life that has like bigger and deeper issues, but in a way I wanted to do it for someone else, not for me.
Okay.
And I mean, today they have the closest relationship. It's like, oh my gosh, Kaya and my mom, dream team. But when we talked after my breakdown year, after shortly before Kaya's first birthday, you said like, words, can you carry the baby? Is the baby awake? Like naming your child, not like, Kaya, is Kaya awake? Kaya, how are you? This was one of the reasons why I was like, okay, I'm a mother and I'm taking care of my child as good as I can, but at the same time I don't have any connection to this beautiful human being. And also not having the trust in the process, but being super fearful and like helicopter mom, we would say in Germany, and always see the negative results, you know. Oh my gosh, this could happen, she could fall, oh, why is she coughing like this, why is she doing this? I was not myself anymore, and I just didn't enjoy myself anymore.
Thank you. You see what had happened in that period, and this, a lot of parents, newborn parents, go through this, is that there's a hype building up towards to the start of the pregnancy, because the pregnancy is normally divided into 3. You know, the first term, there's a massive excitement and enthusiasm because everybody's making a fuss about the baby that's about to arrive. And then the second term is sort of, you know, what are we going to be doing to set up the room, and is the boy, is the girl. And then the last semester, the last term, is the reality that it's like, oh my goodness, we're actually bringing a child into this world. It's normally in that last term that parents who are not which are not spiritually connected, where they disconnect from the reality of having a baby. And this is why one of the first things that I recognize in our sessions is that you name Kaya, you say Kaya, baby, and the same thing came from Andre to an extent. So the moment we're able to recognize that, and I shared with you at one stage the difference between motherhood and mom. So for purpose of clarity, I just want to share this with our audience as well, is that in my informed opinion, a mother and a father is biological. Anyone can be a mother or father. It's not, it's the challenge is being a mom and being a dad, because then you accept ownership with love. And this is, and I believe
Beautiful.
this was, thank you. And I believe this was crucial for you, particular, when you recognize the difference between the two and you then took ownership of, because you had a choice, right? You could
Yeah.
continue being a mother and you could
Yeah.
continue just being, you know, empowered by an ego and say, no, I don't need help. As most people do, they say, I don't need help, I don't need assistance. And they just keep pushing on, empowering on and moving through it under the pretense that I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm fine, I'm fine, I'm fine. And in the process, who suffers? Baby. Baby suffers first. That trauma gets taken onto the parents, and then you get a split between the partners.
100%. But you said like people would not accept help, but some people don't realize that it's not normal, the fact that you don't have a connection to a child. And even a midwife I was talking to, she was like, that's so normal. And of course you need some time to adjust and like, yeah, to become a mom and to feel your baby. But if it takes a little bit longer than a year to understand what just happened, I feel it's good to get help, because to be a mother and not understanding and not having the connection, not understanding what this role is actually about, it comes also with so many side effects that are just terrifying. You know, like being miserable. You blame your partner for not doing right, although you see your own mistakes in him. Like today, I blame Andrew to be on the phone too much when he is with the kids. But this is what my biggest you should be less on your phone. And so many things more, like this guilt feeling. I wanted to talk to you about guilt, because I have so many mom friends who have this guilt. Either it's work or it's just time for themselves and to be away. And at a certain time they feel like, oh, I must go home, and just I don't want to, because it feels that I didn't have enough of me time. And yes, maybe we should talk about this guilt and just have your me time, because it's crucial to have it in order to give love to your children.
Thank you. You see, the reality is not only, and that is habitual, by the way, it's not only when an individual or parents or a couple gets together, get married and have a child. It's also an extension of their personal life before they get, before they embark on a journey as a couple, relationship or marriage, etc., and having a child, is that they feel guilty when they actually take good care of themselves. They feel guilty when you and I had this conversation, sometime last year, when they start taking care, when they have to go to a salon to have their nails done, etc. There's a certain amount of guilt. Individuals in society by default lives to please the world. So whenever they have to take time to take care of themselves, they cut themselves short. So that habit goes into relationship, goes into a marriage, and goes into motherhood or parenthood as a whole. I strongly believe that for a mom, for a mom to be not to be a mother, to be a mom, one has to understand you have to set your structures in place and not be afraid to, and not needing to justify when you want to spend time on your own, when you want to go to a salon, when you have a cup of coffee with some friends, sharing your time or baby's time with families. This is not a negative, this is a positive. And we spoke about how to share, how to take or deliver or to share baby with family, etc. I just want to jump onto something that you said quite early in the session now, was you said mom and Kaya has an amazing bond. That is the power of sincere intention. That is the power of sincere intention, because you absolutely, thank you, my love. You said it yourself early on, is that your intention when you fell pregnant was to have a baby for your mom to have as companionship, right?
Yeah.
And that was a sincere intention. That was a prayer, and that reached your mom.
Yeah.
So we not surprised today that mom and in even Alfia and dad, etc., has such amazing connection with Kaya.
I agree. And let's jump into this fact that people don't understand that it's not normal to feel these feelings and having guilt. Like when you say, well, you address me, you talk to me and you ask for help, but some people, they don't want to ask for help. But I believe that people don't realize it's not a state we should accept.
Thank you. Asking for help is not weakness. Definitely not. Not asking for help when somebody requires it, that is weakness. You see, ego will always make us believe that we are in a better emotional state than what we are. As we said on numerous occasions before, ego's only job is to create the illusion of happiness. So when it comes to parenthood, you know, there's always this fight of ego versus soul between mom and dad, mother and father, is that both parties want to project to the other that I'm okay, I'm strong enough to do this. When should there be transparency, total transparency? And the mom says, you know, today I'm just not feeling 100% and strong enough. Please, will you stand in? And the dad says, with pleasure, my love, go take care of yourself. That is transparency. That is a very strong understanding that it's okay for us to share our transparency. I know. It's okay for us to share our transparency, and it's okay for us to share when we require support from one another.
You know, again, I'm sharing our personal journey. Andre was away for the first 6 months when Kaya was born. So I basically was alone, but not alone because my mom was there. So she had like another parent role with Kaya. Maybe also that is why they're so close. And when Andre quit with football, he was there the whole time. And that was for us the birth of our child, because that was when we just started to understand we are a couple and this is our child, we are parents now. We need, because he was away like in Moscow for most of the time. He came for a weekend, and then for me it was a big adjustment, because I felt that when he was there I blamed him for not doing things. I was expecting things from him he didn't do. But at the same time, he was a newborn dad and he didn't understand, like he had to understand his role either, you know. So this is something also for parents as well, to restructure everything. We talk always about structure, but please explain us how to, like, you're, first of all, you're single, then you are a couple, then you are parents,
a family,
big, and then a family. This big steps in your life.
Thank you, my love. Thank you so much, and thank you for being so transparent with you and Andre's journey. So, because it does set the platform for others to learn. And I'm just looking at the comments. Thank you so much to everybody that's positively commenting. You see, my love, very important is, again, it comes down to honesty and transparency. We go, as you say, you go from being single into a relationship where you have to share your time, going to a marriage where you have to share your whole entire journey, and then you start a family, and that's even cutting it up even finer. Nowhere is it written that the mom has to absorb all the time and all the pressures, and the mom has to do it. It's nowhere it's written. It's just a society belief, and there's no way. I'm not of the opinion that a mom must absorb every aspect of the child, the baby's upbringing, and the teething and the nappy changing. It's shared responsibility. So when we discussed with you and with Andre various stages on structure, you know, we implement the structure where you have time with Kaya, for instance, talk about before Bodhi arrived, you have time with Kaya, go for a walk. Andre has time with Kaya, go for a walk. And it frees the other one to do a bit of training, exercise, meditation, yoga. We included into the structure part of, you know, ensuring that your energies are balanced, meditation. And we even went as far at one stage to join you guys at meditation at certain times of the day when we knew that Kaya was asleep. You know, when a child was, always remember this, and this is for every one of you out there who have children, is that when a child is in a spiritual environment, that child will lead you with love. When you're raising a child in a spiritual environment, and I say this to you and Andrea on a continued basis, Kaya is leading you with love. Kaya is showing you. And as you said earlier on, every time that you were blowing up, you spend time with Kaya and explain to her. That is the kind of relationship that I applaud, and I say, you know, it's going to hold so much value and merit for Kaya as she matures and grows into her years.
100%. Like when I still was a mother and I pretended so often to be happy and to smile when she was looking at me as a baby, like 3 to 6, 7 months, and I saw in her eyes, but maybe it was my, you know, my projection as well, that she didn't believe me I was smiling, because I was deep down super unhappy and depressed, and I still pretended to be, and she would be like, and still today sometimes she would still look at me and say like, Mom, what are you here trying to do? Like trying to do.
Yeah.
So this is so right. When you listen to your kid, and I once went to the playground and my sister was with her and I did a little shoot. And she said to me, Mommy, I don't want you to shoot now. Please stop. And so I was
Wow.
like, what the heck? Like she is talking directly to me. And a few weeks later, when I realized, what am I actually doing? I'm doing street style fashion shoots. For what? For whom? Like, what am I trying to do on my Instagram profile? I'm just being totally honest. Like, is this really me? No, it's so not me. This is me talking to you, inspiring other people, helping people. But of course, I
Beautiful.
love fashion, but this is not what my purpose in life is. And Kaya was talking to me, crying, I don't want you to take photos right now. Please come back. And listening to each other and just questioning the intention. This is so beautiful.
One phenomenal. However, thank you so much for sharing it, my love. You had to be fully present to recognize this, right? Should you not
Absolutely.
have been in a thank you? Should you not have been in a spiritual position, it would have been very difficult for you to recognize what Kaya is saying. Now,
Yes.
unfortunately, in most situations with parenthood, the parents are taking care of their own needs, and the child has to adjust to the parent, which
Mm-hmm.
is very outdated. This is centuries old, where you become dominant and you tell your child what to do and how to do it, etc. That trauma shows up later in life.
Yeah.
So all you have to do is look at the adults in society today, and not with criticism or judgment, one can see which children had a very challenging upbringing and come from in family environments where there was a lot of pressure put onto them in terms of, you do it my way or no way. Whereas you and Andrea are open to be
Mm.
led with love.
100%. I say that we were raised with so many traumas where it was not our parents' fault. They were just not aware and they did not have these tools like Instagram and social media and internet, like reading and educating themselves. So they didn't know it differently. They did what their parents did with them and to them, which was normal. It's normal. This is normal. And then, you know, today I also believe sometimes we overthink because it's such a new stage for me and Angie and I, we were discussing, is this ego, is this so, sometimes just to feel and not to check up a list, just to feel what feels right. And of course to know that this is an ego driven decision or this is soul based decision. But we're super hyper alert of not creating trauma in our children's life, that I believe we're
Beautiful.
gonna do it anyway. Like I don't know in what case
No,
you'll show
no,
me.
no, no,
I
no, we're
know,
not
I
going to do
know
it.
you haven't
No, no, no. I don't
drinking
believe
too
this.
much matcha. It's gonna create the trauma in Kaya's life. I don't know.
You and Andrea are doing an absolutely phenomenal job as parents, and I'm very thankful that you guys have allowed me to participate in your journey, and to be part of Kaya and Bodhi and your development process. And I say to you, you must never forget, my love, you and Andrea must never forget where you once were,
Yeah.
and what we have sacrificed, what you have achieved, and where you're heading and where you are now.
Yes.
And you've made some really serious sacrifices now of recent that would empower your journey as a mom, and to make sure that you're more you're vibrating at a higher inner peace. And this is important. We take decisions in our journey that serves our higher good. And I
Mm.
believe this is one message I want to share with all the parents out there, is to make sure whatever decision you take with and for your children, that it serves their higher good, not
Mm.
necessarily what is good for them right now. It serves their higher good, and it doesn't necessarily serve, your ego, because the
Mm.
ego is very prominent in taking decisions, even being actively, alert that we don't do anything that's going to give them a negative vibration. Even that partially is egotistically driven, because
Mm-hmm.
it's looking to criticize and judge our journey.
My love, oh my gosh, how is it that we only have 6 minutes left? I want to share another very short story. Being a mom and a woman with her own brand. I started this right when I had Kaya. I had my own book, and then my matcha, and then my app and everything. So I never actually gave myself the time to understand my role of being a mom. And this is when I blame myself to not understand like what I was hustling for, to only understand 3 years later, like, fuck, like why haven't I done it earlier? Of course, this is who I am today, and it made me even a better person and a better mom today. But understanding that I was running after a wrong reason, to just to push my ego, to say, oh, I have my own brand and my own matcha and my own books, but at the same time not I am like a passionate mom. I love being a mom. And you guys, your kids are 1 to 5, such a short time. This little age is the most important age for the kids, where it sets like their safety, and where they will learn so much. And in this time when you're not there, or you're busy and you're on your phone, or just struggling within yourself, it's just a pity. It's just a pity, because just set everything aside and be a mom, be just a mom, and enjoy it. And this is why I said to me, everything has their time, and each to their time. I don't know if it's correct, but right now I just want to be 100% mom, and stay mom, and spend time with my kids, and be present, and not having duties and calls and everything.
Thank you, my love. I just want to share this with the audience as well, is that it's very important to recognize the child between the age of 1 to 2, a girl, to about 14, don't know their identity. They take their identity from whatever environment they are exposed to, whether it's a loving environment or an abusive environment. And the boy between the age of 3 to 4 to the age of 12, they take their identity from the environment, again, from mom, dad, mother, mom, father, mother, etc. So you're taking an informed decision to rather spend the next few years and investing your time and your efforts, both you and Andre, into ensuring that the future of Kaya and Bodhi serves them with love and serves them with so much inner peace, is possibly the 100%. It's the best investment you guys could ever take in your entire lives, individually and collectively as a couple.
I believe. And talking about the guilt feeling, what could you give us as an advice, like to not feel guilt? I mean, there are moms and dads out there who must work. We have the lucky situation that we both parents are at home, and we can choose, and we can work from home. But on the other hand, there are so many parents out there who must go to work.
Thank you. So thank you, my love. There's the only time there's guilt, there's a environment of guilt, is when we lack self-love, when we lack the capacity to understand what we are doing and the reasons for doing it. When a parent, when they have no other option other than to work, because they have to, the income will support their family, they have to work with love, and they got to support that decision with love. Then the guilt, it removes the regret and removes the guilt. The only time we have guilt is when we're comparing again. So that particular parent will compare themselves to another parent that has more free time with their children, and go, oh, I wish I can be like this parent. I so much wish that I can be and do this for my child. And every parent, every family has a different structure, financially, emotionally, spiritually, from a loving perspective, etc., etc. When a parent has no other option and they have to work to support their family, do it with love.
Absolutely agree. Do it with love. Don't be miserable at work and come with this feeling projecting to your kids.
No.
Because you're miserable being at work, and then at the same time you're miserable and not loving at home.
Well, it's also time management, right? And we spoke about this before, is having to take a child, for example, to a preschool or kindergarten school, or the child has to go to mom or grandparents, and it's just dropping off and driving off. Why don't you wait there until take your child inside? And, you're supporting the child with love. And, even when you have, and you said this before as well, it's when the child has to come home again, wherever the child has gone to, has to bring the child. So there's a lot of elements at play when we're speaking about the guilt, because also, where does guilt really come from? It comes from a regret that there's not enough love in that environment. So
You're disappearing, my love. You're
I'm
disappearing. Ah.
I'm here. I'm here. Can you see me?
Yes, and I can hear
I'm
you.
here.
Go ahead.
Okay, I think I just wanted to end up by saying, do whatever you do it with love, be sincere, and I assure you and every other parent out there that when we do whatever we do with love is always going to give result of love. So thank you so much, Anna,
100%.
and everyone else who's joined us.
Thank you guys for joining and for sharing the love. See you next Sunday.
Have a phenomenal week ahead and take good care. God bless.
Yes.
Ciao. Bye.
Bye bye.
Ciao.